Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Alex Changho here, and today I have Philip Lowe. Now, Philip Lowe is the owner of Y2 Academy in Cary, North Carolina. And Philip and his staff of teachers at Y2 Academy help students prepare for tests, particularly the SAT, and have a track record of success. Y2 has helped students raise their SAT scores, and they make a pretty bold claim. They guarantee an improvement of at least 400 points or earn a minimum score of 2,200. That's pretty impressive, and Philip has the case studies to back it up. Hey, welcome, Philip.
Hey, good morning, Alex. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. So, Philip, test scores are just one of these touchy subjects that everyone kind of understands are important, but there's a lot of stress kind of all around it. And in fact, there's a segment of the population, I think, nowadays that a lot of people think that standardized testing scores are not really that relevant anymore, and they take a backseat to other factors. Things like leadership or community service or sports. What are your thoughts on this perception?
Well, first of all, I'm not a person that loves being tested. Honestly, when I have tests, my hands will sweat. I sometimes cannot sleep well the night before. So tests does have a lot of stress. And you're right. The quality that you mentioned, like leadership, like serving the communities and sports, those are very important skills and quality for students to have a fulfilling life and successful career. But let's think about that, Alex. To be a good leader, say, do you want your leader to lead you to a dead end or lead you to the wrong directions? We saw that many times, say, from a big picture standpoint, 2008, when the Wall Street fell apart, all these bankers, what they did, they're supposed to be the leader of the financial industry. They lead us to trouble. And then time and again, we know that we want leaders have the knowledge and skill to lead their people, or lead a company, lead the government, lead the citizens, and all kinds of stuff. We want leaders to be equipped. And likewise, at community service, when you serve people, do you want to serve them the right way? Or you just serve them the way you want, but the community don't really like it or don't appreciate that? All these things, honestly, you will need knowledge, and the knowledge has to be relevant. And I cannot think of any other things better than training, learning, and then a little examination to review or to see how much a person learned. Today, we don't like tests, but tests is one of the most effective ways to find out whether a person learning or maintaining any knowledge. So yeah, I think those qualities are important, but tests is one of the way to find out whether a person is qualified to be a leader. They have the equipped with the knowledge to serve the community, or even sport. Sport have sport medicines. All that. They all need people. They are qualified to serve. And tests, standardized tests, are the way to find out whether people are qualified or equipped to do such a role. So I don't think it's unnecessary. I think actually, as we looking for quality leader and also reliable accountants, lawyer, you all want those lawyer and accountants that they really well educated and well qualified and pass the bar exams, medical exams, MCAT. Those are ways to assure that whoever serve us at the important role, they are qualified, isn't it?
Yeah, so it sounds like what you're saying, Philip, is that tests are just, they're a piece of the puzzle, not the only thing, but a piece of the puzzle for someone to really be a good leader. Is that right?
That's correct. Good leader qualify people to do their job. Test is really one of the best way. But Alex, how to test is another question. Unfortunately, our test system is not perfect. I think some of the test questions are outdated, and that perhaps where the complaints are. I would say the people think tests may be stressful, blah blah blah. It's really whether the test is relevant. If people are forced to remember something that ancient that no one uses it anymore, like some of the vocabulary, that could I would say it's not a good test. It's whether it's a good, effective test or whether the test is just right out say tricking people. That's I think the different thing.
I see. So how to test is just as important as as the test itself is how they're
Yeah,
doing it.
exactly.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
let's rewind just a little bit. You said that there are several key factors that are going to be important. Could you just kind of list those off for us real quick in addition to the tests and having a proper quality test?
Yeah, I want to zoom into one specific area. The area that I like to zoom into is talking about 1.7 million high school students that every year when they rising into senior, they all have to face about the tests or the process that require them to go through for college applications. Those are necessary step for students to go into college if they think college is the right thing to do. Five factors in general. The first one, which is the most important, is their cumulative GPA and their class ranking. Those are the things that I would say no shortcut. They have to accumulate them for the first 3 years of their high school career, and then try to earn as much A as possible. It's a consistent effort of working hard at school. That's the most important. GPA, class ranking. Second is the public test, the SAT, ACT today, that the government set up this test, or the college board set it up to find out whether students really learn what they're supposed to learn across different schools, different districts, or even globally. A lot of international students overseas have to take the SAT test when they want to apply to U.S. college today. So that is a standard that the government set up for all the students to measure whether they learn what they're supposed to learn throughout college, throughout high school and middle school. And then the third one is leadership. When I say leadership in here, it's not talking about some government position. It is talking about whether a student demonstrate a quality that integrity, trustworthy, and then able to lead other people. Say, for example, key cup to be a treasurer, a vice president, or president. Those are roles that will train a student in terms like their accountability, whether they are reliable, whether they do what they're supposed to, and things like that. Those are the quality of a person is very important, obviously. And then the fourth thing is community service. Today we have so many people, they just think about themselves. We want the college, good top college, want their student able to give back to the society, benefit others, not only benefit themselves. So community service is a way to measure that. And then sport, music, some kind of, say, hobby, dance, those are important to maintain a balanced life. Those five factors are the key factors, I would say, when a student want to apply for a good college, particularly the top 100 college. They all want those five qualities.
Wow. So it sounds like we've got there's a formula here for success for these high school kids. So let's talk specific about the SAT because that's the thing that I think a lot of people see about Y2 Academy, and you really focus on that side of the business. What benefits can a great SAT score have for a student other than simply getting into college?
Well, when I talk to students, I always tell them you get a bragging right when you get an SAT, say 2400, or certain topics like math or critical reading, you get an 800. It is a bragging right. You can always point to there and tell your own children when you getting old or have your own children. But it's really more than that. Getting a good score or high score on SAT, it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of what I call self-discipline. When you go through that, you are able to say, kind of like training who you are. I will say when it is the process to get a good SAT score or ACT score that will demonstrate or push a student to learn self-disciplines, target a goal to do it, and learning how to learn. Those are skill sets that a student has to master in order to get a great SAT score. When a student get a good SAT score, that self-confidence, the sense of self-fulfillment are very, very important. That really equip the students to go to the next level, face the new challenge at the college. So I would say a good SAT score, it is a result of a student's hard work and quality that really is, they earn it. They earn that, and their hard works really pay off with a high SAT score.
Fantastic. Now, your company and your school trains these students to get a great SAT score. Tell me this, is it really possible for a student to be trained to get a certain test score?
Well, if the test is new, no track record, if you and I make up a test tomorrow and then ask people to test it, of course, it's very hard to get to train anyone to get a good result on a new test. But when you're talking about SAT, ACT, they have a long track record and history. They have the College Board publish a lot of guideline articles, how they're going to test, what to study in order to do well in those tests. It is very difficult for someone to say, hey, I don't know what to study, and then I get an A. No, you cannot do that. The tests are structured in a way that you have to follow certain guidelines, how to study, certain scope. So with that, I would say with all the resources already given, either College Board and the school, definitely there's a way to study and be trained to do well on the SAT, ACT, and even get, say, a full score. To us, it's definitely possible. We have a lot of students get it done that way.
So what are some of the things that a student needs to do this?
Well, I can tell you what are the students have been doing that have caused them so frustrated, or they feel they haven't really mastered that. This is, say, perhaps 70% of the students do when they say they study for SAT. They buy a book and then study it again and again and again. Well, some of the students can do really well doing that, but most of students don't. The reason is they feel they test it like first time they study few months and then they test it again. They only improve say 20, 30, maybe even 100 points, and then they do it again, try to uh, get themselves near say 2000s. It's possible, but it takes a long time. This process takes a long time if they study it that way. And most of the students will, when they study on their own, they tend to what we call go down to the path of least resistance. What I mean is they will uh, continue to study what they already know, and then unconsciously maybe to avoid what they don't know or where they fail in terms of their questions. So they just repeating what they do already learned, and then the more they study, the better they are in terms of like removing careless mistake and do better, do faster. But they haven't really um, overcome their knowledge gap, what I call, or some people call them weakness. So that is one of the areas that students feel frustrated because they feel that they study so many hours in the last few years and still not able to get close to 2000s or where they want to go in terms of getting a great SAT score. So when they're doing that all the time, they feel defeated and they give it up and then starting to complain about it. So that's really the challenge. How to do well is we really have a method to guide the student to tackle the knowledge gap or the weak area in a way that's very effective. And instead of spending years or and 2 3 years to get a great SAT score, ACT score, we can help them to get it done, which the standard that you mentioned before. Also, we guarantee is 2200 on SAT or improve 400 points. We can get it done with them in about one summer.
Wow. One summer you can do that.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And guarantee too.
Yes. So tell me this, Philip. What are some other things that maybe high school students do that are supposed to help test scores but actually hurt your chances? You mentioned a few moments ago that they'll do a self-study. They'll get the book and study over and over and over again, and they might get a 40-point bump or maybe even 100. Is there anything that are kind of like myths that people are using or doing, and then suddenly, it actually hurts their chances of success?
Well, I think one of the things that I heard again and again from many students is the day before the test or that week, say last Saturday was the SAT test. When I talked to students that came to our center, came to our school, they told me that how many days they have been working until 1 2 o'clock, and then still not getting any better until SAT result or ACT result. Look, they have to understand how to learn. Learning involves the brain. A lot of kids are putting what I call the uh, uh, 18 hours a day in a week and try to cut back their sleep and study, cram everything into their brain in such a short time. It won't work. The brain needs time to rest, and every say 30 minutes, the brain needs a short break in order to refresh and work well again, especially the night before they take the big test. The 4-hour SAT test is not easy. They need to have a solid 7 to 8 hours sleep the night before in order for the brain to really work. If they think the last minute long night studying is going to help them, it actually hurt them. When they don't get enough sleep, their memory is slower, the vocabulary is gone, even though they study for months, The minute they want to use it, their brain cannot work, and then their analytical skill is not there because the brain is tired. So that is the most common factor that I see students hurting themselves, thinking about hard work in such a short time will, is the way to do it. That is really the worst mistake many students do. So another thing is students try to avoid telling people about their mistake. Okay, after tests, people will tell them, "Oh, I get that right too. I get this right too." And then when people say this one, I get that way, this way, and then they will silent because they know they make a mistake. So the reason that people take tests again and again is to improve. The definition of improvement means remove the mistake. Learn how to answer a question right. That means you have to know where you have mistake and how to make that mistake. Many students just keep silent, don't want to say anything about they fail on these questions or make a mistake on that question. Look, when it comes to test, mistakes are the bitter medicines or the hidden goal that you have to take that. You have to learn from mistakes in order to improve. So that's the second biggest mistake many students does is they don't want to say anything or look at their mistake. They just want to say everyone make mistakes. If they have that attitude, they will not improve much at all.
Wow. That's I can think about when I went back to when I was in high school, and whether it was SAT test or any kind of other test, everyone was really talking about, oh, you got to stay up late, you got to cram, you got to do all of this, and I can really understand now how that's actually detrimental to getting a good score.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead.
Time again. I'm teaching a class talking about from other instructors. Two of the leading brain research group that the subject of the class is learning how to learn, how to understand how our brain work in order to maximize our learning experience and also keep what we learn again and again so that we not just learn and forget, we can learn and use it and learn to do things better. And that is amazing how much mistake I do in the past, especially when I come to work, study. When I study this class, I realized that if I have learned how to learn, I understand how our brain works, I will be much, much better today. Unfortunately, it's not too late. I love to share this information with our students, help them to learn better, have a happier life. When they learn better, they are more effective. They see themselves improve. They're happier. I'm happier.
Philip, it seems to me that this isn't just about getting a good grade on a test, but it's teaching so much about self-discipline, about having confidence, about knowing what someone's capable of, and really being able to have a good and happy life.
Yeah, I look at that is all this together. Test is one of the what I call necessary evil to get to the next step. And the purpose of doing all that is not to torture any students or make anyone feel they are bigger than who they really are. It is to help them to accomplish their goal so that they can have more fulfilled life and happier. And that's really the purpose. And I hope students will understand that. And parents usually have a better understanding after we talk. Students keep looking at the test only. As we go back now at the beginning, college look for those 5 qualities. It's a holistic approach to students that when they go to a good college and finish college education, come out to work, they will become a leader of the society and have that quality to build a great community. So let's all work together. Test is a important component, but it's not all about tests.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has really
Yeah.
been fantastic, Philip. Let's wrap this up today. So, can you finish up and give us some key things that a student must consider to successfully get into a great college?
Well, I think that's very important that first we need to understand the student what they inclined to do. High school students usually don't know exactly what career they want. But if you ask them what they don't want to do, 9 out of 10 they will be able to tell you what they don't want to do. Um, so that is one way to remove some of the area that parents particularly want their student to be a medical doctor or engineer. I think you need to look at ask the students what they really don't want to do first. And if those areas are including say math or engineering work, let's don't push kids there. Um, I think we have to help the students find where or what are their passions. Those are the first step is to understand the students' need, what they want to do, what college they like to go, and then what area they have interest at. Those are the starting point. With that, I would say starting to help them to go to a college that will include or will not be, say, stress push them to the wrong way, and then help them to say look at the area they need help, identify the area they need help. Maybe is um, most of the parents that when they come to us is saying that, hey, how come my students, my kids, get a very good score, very good GPA at school, get a lot of A, couple B, but when they take the public exam, they only got the SAT got 1500, 1600. What went wrong? And those are the things that we need to help the students look into. Is it the school for some reasons have been giving ECA too much, so that students think they're doing well. Actually, when they go out to take tests, they realize that they haven't really prepared well. This could be one factor. And like, another factor could be is students we just talk about. They hate to look at where they make mistake and then end up they have been making the same mistake again and again. Those are things. And then I would say from there, I would Micro Academy has a very unique systems. I will really surprise them. Any student will walk away from my system. We help students to identify their weak area, their knowledge gap, and then help to rebuild those area for the student very, very effectively. So that including say how to capture the teaching moment for the students, and also how to help the student to understand the the right way of learning. So those are the areas that I would say Micro Academy can come in to help. And starting from October, we will offer a service that helps students to apply for college. That including help them to review their essay, and the essay is very important. Many people still doubt, but believe me, the admission office will read their essay. So we will have teacher there to help them to write a good essay for college applications, and also how for younger high school students, maybe ninth grade, 10th grader, we will help them to structure their high school career in a way that have a well balanced leadership, community service, and sport experience, so that they will not just become a bookworm and study and then not able to not able to get into a good college, even though they get a say 2400 SAT, but they really don't have any community service, don't have any leadership. Those are, you know, quality important, become important when you have a good academic background in order to get into a top college. In addition, I will say a good SAT score is almost like money because with a good SAT score and a well-balanced um, uh, areas, like including the leadership, there's a lot of scholarship available for this kind of students to apply. Do you know, Alex? Do you know how much scholarship money left on the table on a yearly basis that no student apply in America? Do you know how much is
I
it?
have no idea how much is it.
Throw a number out. See whether you get it.
Maybe I don't know, a couple million bucks.
Oh, try a few more times. Actually, statistics, a lot of publications saying that there's at least 100 million every single year. Oh, yeah,
$100 million.
yep. No one applied for it. It's a lot of outside scholarship. I'm not talking about the college scholarship. The outside scholarship offered by Bill Gates, Dr. Peppers, and all the private organizations that they have a lot of money now it's left on the table. So when no one applied, they just roll it over for next year again. Those money is still there. So a good academic performance, a well-run students, they have a lot of opportunity to apply those scholarships. College is basically free for them if they apply. So those are areas that we can help them.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities for these guys. So,
Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
well, thank you for joining us today. And again, Philip Lowe is the owner of Y2 Academy in Cary, North Carolina, and his center really specializes in helping kids get prepared for college in many different ways. And Philip, tell us, if some of the listeners want to find out more about your program, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah. The first thing I encourage students and parents to do is find out who we are first. Go to our website, y2academy.com. Look at our check record. Those claims that we guarantee is very, very big claim, but time and again, last 5, 6 years, we have been able to keep those claims and students are happy. And the second thing is call us. And we are right at the McCuman corner in Morrisville. It's our first campus. So come visit us. We are right next to Harris Theater there. Or you can call me, 919-928-6889. That's my cell phone number. So that if you don't have any questions, let me know. If you like to write, you can write me an email, ask for information. It's at Cary, Cary, at y2academy.com.
Fantastic. Well, Philip, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.